Welcome to the latest tutorial in PHP for cookies and session. What is a cookie? A cookie can contain different data that is stored on the client browser with server specific information like user ID and or user preferences. To set a cookie, you need to call setCookie function that contains the name, value, expire, path, domain, secure, HTTP only as parameters. Cookies can be created with PHP using this function, and parameters like cookie path explains where the cookie is to be stored. Secure basically tells like it should work on HTTPS. HTTP only to force only HTTP protocol and not on HTTPS. Cookies can be retrieved using a global variable from PHP which is $_cookie. This is an array that contains cookie name as index and value assigned to that index. To delete a cookie, you need to set the expiration date on the cookie to past. To override the value, you just need to set the new value to the same key using setCookie function. Here is an example code to create a cookie and to print out the values for that cookie. We are setting the cookie name as user and the cookie value as naren, and then we are checking if the cookie name is set. Then we print the value for that cookie. Sessions. Sessions are used to store information in the form of variables that can be used across different pages on the site. Session variables last till the user's browser is closed and are lost after that. So it is a perfect solution to load the information as session variable and use them across several pages. Some of the examples of these variables would be username, preferred color and theme, etc. To start a session, you need to call start_session function. These variables can then be stored and accessed using a global array $_session using key value pairs. Here is an example for setting up a session variable. Here we are starting the session first. Now remember this should be the first line of the code that should be executed. After that you can set the variables using the $_session array and passing in the key value pair. To destroy a PHP session, you can just call session_unset and session_destroy function. This would destroy the complete session, and session_unset would just remove all the session variables and create the blank array. Now before ending up the session, we would like to explain like what cookies and sessions actually differ from. See, when we are using cookies basically are stored on the client browser even if the browser is closed, and we can use those variables later on when the browser is restarted and the user comes back to the site. These kind of variables can be used to basically just remember the username for that particular user. When we are talking about session basically stores the variables, or let's say the variables are stored for that particular session till the browser is closed. So let's say the user logs in, then you have to maintain that session for that user so that every page that he views, like his profile page or any other page, should basically get the data from those variables itself. So that is the major difference between a cookie and a session. Thank you for your time. We'll continue with our next session soon.